Good morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is sponsored by Topaz May. So if anything goes wrong today, you can blame Topaz May for that. Thank you for being supportive of the channel, and let's get right into the video. Went with a mocha McDonald's coffee this morning, so not bad. So last time we did the video, I believe we were working on building that frame for the front corner of the Century. So today we're gonna be doing the same thing. We're gonna be building the other side of the frame and getting that ready for the Century. And once that's done, I think that's pretty much all of the framing for this. We do have to build a little reinforcement piece, but that shouldn't take too long. We had a guy comment on the YouTube videos there. He said, this is a time, patience is a great virtue to have, and he's absolutely correct. This does seem like it's taking a while, but this is the really important part of the process. Once the boat is, structurally sound, then everything after that is essentially cosmetic and routine stuff to work on. So nothing too intense, but that's the idea, that's the process that we're gonna do. Also, I thought I'd show you guys this one really quickly. I'll put a little tag right here, you can watch the video. We did a quick little video on doing the final varnish for this boat, and you can just take a look at how that turned out. Looks like glass, look at that. Just beautiful. Now thankfully we didn't get a fly landing in this one, unlike this boat over here. I have another video right here that shows that. We had a fly land in both one of these hatches, so that was a little bit annoying, but thankfully this one came out really nice. You can see how beautiful that is. Now in the future we are going to be doing deck lines on it, so underneath here is the adhesive, I believe it's Sikaflex that they used. So these lines are all routed out, filled up with Sikaflex, and then we do the stain and the varnishing, and after that you put the deck lines on top of it. So that'll be a really cool video too. I'll do that one in the future with the team here, and we'll get a couple of shots of us putting deck lines on the boat. But yeah, that's the staying craft. Let's get back over to what we were doing and get back working on the Century. Also, I think I might have fixed some of the video issues. I noticed it was getting a little bit pixelated, so I think I fixed it, but we'll see when this video gets uploaded. But for now, let's get this guy out of here. I have a couple of fasteners holding in place, and then we can replicate it for the other side. So we're back over here in the wood shop section. We have the residual piece left over. And once again, what I'm gonna do is replicate it, but I'm not gonna put the batten lines in or the tapers. I'm just gonna make a blank piece, make it a little bit larger than this one here, of course, to account for any variability. And then, yeah, we can continue on with getting this one fitted. Now, just like the last video, there's gonna be a lot of back and forth here as I go back into the wood shop and back over to here to get everything fit. Now, I'm doing what I did last time, where I'm not putting solid lines on anything. I'm just kind of getting a rough idea, because the unfortunate truth of it, as I referred to with this piece here in the frame a couple of videos ago, nothing on here is mathematically correct. So unfortunately, I can't just copy one side and have it be the same as the other. If we started fresh and we were building this boat completely brand new, starting with a new keel and everything, we could build it that way, absolutely, but in this particular case, originally it was built by just people assembling the parts together. It wasn't so much one person, building the boat entirely. It was more of a production kind of thing. So not everything is perfect, and then on top of that, you have the time for degradation, you have the oil, you have the water, all of the planks moving, and then the third factor is, of course, you have random repairs being completed to the boat over the years. So a number of things contributes to not having it the same. That's why I highly recommend, if you're doing something like this, make a rough copy of one side, but do not set anything in stone, because you will end up undercutting. And as you guys well know, overcutting a piece of wood is far worse than undercutting it, because you can always cut more of it off. That being said, you guys probably know all this already, so I'm gonna be quiet. I'm just gonna keep moving on and building this frame piece. So just as I did last time, I'm slowly marking out just the important battens that are hitting first onto our piece of wood so it can slip in there. And then once it's close enough, I can begin to get the other battens lined up along the pencil marking. So you can see where I have to mark those. They're pretty close, but I'm gonna get a little bit closer to it. And then once that's lined up, we can then move this piece with the taper and get them both sitting pretty nice together. I'm hoping to make some more on the water videos this summer, and we actually just had our first water test of the season. Here's a couple clips of that. We didn't do anything too crazy. We had someone looking at purchasing the boat, and this is actually a U22. Very beautiful boat, and you can see it just going on the water there. It's just absolutely gorgeous with that backdrop of the West Kelowna there. You can see all that. We're planning on doing a lot more water tests, a lot more coverage of all of the really cool boats that we have at the shop here and any new ones that we get in the future. Again, if you guys like a certain type of video, please leave a comment. We want to know what you guys are the most interested in, whether it be the rebuilding, the coverage of certain types of boats, outboards, anything like that. We'd be happy to shoot more videos like that. Like I said, we're trying to get people excited about wooden boating, and we want to be a channel where everyone can come to check out all sorts of cool wooden boats. So if you have anything that you want to see, drop us a comment, give us a phone call, send us an email, and we'd be happy to oblige. So now I have that piece of wood installed there, and you can see the battens are essentially lined up to where they need to go. Now the one thing I do have to do is that these are sticking out just a little bit farther than I'd like. So I'm gonna go through and make sure everything is fitting really smoothly in here. But as for the positions where the battens fit, it's pretty good. So we're gonna get that all lined up, try to get this fitting a little nicer. And then once that's dialed in, we can begin putting the next one in and getting it all fastened together. So the point that I'm at now is I have these fastened in place roughly. Again, everything's really rough. So a couple of things I have to do is make sure that both sides are gonna be looking equal just for visual aspects. So I'm gonna go around and make sure that these inner edges are about the same. And then another thing too, like I mentioned earlier, everything on this boat is a little bit off. So I had actually replicated this side over here with an extra 1/4 inch allowance, and it still wasn't enough. So I did have to put a little bit of a spacer right here, which isn't the end of the world. I'll blend it all together and make it nice, just like that corner piece I did down at the bottom. But what I'm gonna do for now is I'm actually gonna design this piece here, this big breastplate. So to do that, I'm gonna take tape and I'm gonna lay out exactly where I want that to go. So there we go, I got the breastplate built up here. Now I'm gonna show you guys a couple of tricks with doing this that makes it a little bit easier, but this is the best way I found to template something out, because you can make it exactly what you want and then just build it over in the wood shop by laying down the template. But I'm gonna show you guys how I'm gonna crisp this up. Now, the reason I'm putting in so much tape here, there's that little bracket that the mounting hardware goes to for that ring. So the bolts will be coming through here. So the plan is that I have a big chunk of wood here, and then I'll have a second triangular chunk of wood in between these frame pieces, and I can put that bolt through, have fasteners running into it in all directions, and it should create quite a sturdy place for the lift ring to go. Let's get this pelt off of here and see how we can design it from here. So to get the edges all cleaned up, all I'm gonna do is take a file, and that's going to create that edge that we're looking for so that I have a nice line. Look at that. You can see how clean that edge is, and we can do that technique to get a nice edge when we actually have something we can use it on. So And then for the rest of it, we'll be shaping it with this razor blade. But the idea is that I do want that breastplate to come up here to reinforce all this material. So the shim doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. It's not my favorite. I wish I could have fixed it, but at least this will be adding a lot of reinforcement. So let's carry on in getting this pelt removed. Now we're going to take the pelt off of the piece of wood here. In an ideal situation, you would be using fiberglass tape in between, just to keep contours and stuff. Again, that's mostly for like metalworking. So if you have like a fender that's round and you put fiberglass tape in between the masking tape, it'll actually keep its round shape when you take it off. That's a trick that I used when I was doing metal fabrication for hot rodding and stuff. We would use this exact method, and then we would also put fiber tape in it. And it's really useful, especially when you're using the crown roller. You can keep that contour and that edge on there, and then you can tell yourself whether or not you're close, and you can keep using the crown roller and keep getting it a little bit closer every time. I might actually do a video one day showing you guys how to use a crown roller and how we do our templating and outlining and stuff for hot rods, because we did quite a bit of it, and we're not half bad at it, so it'd be nice to show you guys a couple of techniques that we use for the crown roller. And there we go. There's roughly the shape we need. It's not perfect, but it is pretty close, so I can actually rely on these lines a lot more than you might think. If anything, you'll have pieces sticking up, so I'm just going to draw exactly what I see here, put this in place. One thing to consider is that there's going to be thickness, so I can't necessarily do an additional taper because there's no way to actually get it physically in that spot without having to slide it in, which I don't really want to do. I want to be able to just kind of work it in there, but whatever the case is, let's see if we can get a nice piece out of this. So we don't actually have a piece this large in our wood supply. Well, we do. This one would be more than sufficient. Same with this one, but we're actually saving these. It's really hard to get 16-foot long mahogany planks, and it's also really difficult to get big, thick pieces of mahogany like this. So we're gonna actually head to the wood supply depot and see if they have anything that that we can put this on. All right, Brandon, you ready?
Always ready.
Always ready, perfect. It's very cloudy today. I think it might rain later. Look at those clouds, that's coming up really nice in the camera. So typically they sell it in a plank, so hopefully we can get them to cut it down to size because we're driving a Honda Civic right now, so I guess we'll see if it fits then, eh?
We will see.
We will see, all right. All right, so we're gonna go take a look at the inventory and see what they got. Well, it's the exciting part. We got to pick out a piece of wood for it. All right, so I think this is our pieces here. So we're gonna have to sort through here and find something that'll fit. So here's our selection. Mahogany is a little bit difficult to find wood for, so we kind of have to just get what we have here. And if I look at the sizes, I think that one's pretty much what we need. Of course, that means we have to play Jenga and unstack this entire pile. All right, so we had to dig through this entire pile to find one piece that was about the size we need. So now we have the fun process of put it back together. So it's like Jenga, Tetris, whatever. So let's get started. We're just about done here. Got about 4 planks left. Oh, look at this one. Brandon noticed the waves. Brandon, yep. We put that piece back. Dude, we put the piece back. No, we didn't. But, you know, we're trying our best to get this stacked up. So we got our piece here. I don't know if it's gonna fit, but you wanna just try it? Okay, I think we'll try it. Brandon's pretty confident this is gonna fit in his Civic. I don't know.
Tons of room.
There we go, it fits. Well, I didn't think that would work.
It's a Honda.
It is a Honda. So for that, I believe it was a 10-foot piece, possibly. For that amount, we paid 76 bucks. That'd be apparently around $50. So yeah, it's not too bad for a nice piece of mahogany, and it's a fairly large one. So let's head back to the shop and see how much of this we can get built before I have to stop filming for the day. And we're back. So we'll get this piece on here, we'll get it traced out, we'll cut it out, and then we'll go see if it fits. So now let's see if we can get this to fit somewhat close. Oh yeah, look at that. Look how nice that is. Get that up and over. Now, one thing to keep in mind, like I said, it is a 3D object, so I am gonna have to cut this away a little bit, but look how close that is already. That is really awesome. The other thing too is it might go this direction. Best if I just check that real quick, just to make sure. Yeah, it looks like it probably goes that way, so. All right, next thing I have to do, I marked out where I want the edge of this to sit. So I just have to cut the edges out now so that it sits pretty in there. So there we go, we got this set up in here, and you can see that it fits really tight. So I have to add the slope that's on this part and the slope that's on this part to the actual piece so that it can slide forward a bit more. Let's see how this piece fits inside here. I had it a little bit of a taper to this portion and to this portion. So it might not be perfect and we might have to adjust it still, but let's just see what it's looking like so far. So there we go, we got it pretty close. I have to take a little bit more away, I think, from the bottom area. So let's just keep shaping it and keep walking it in a little bit closer, and it's gonna fit really nice once we're done. So that's what we're gonna end off today with. We got this breastplate in place here. Next video, we're gonna be shaping everything and getting this all really nice. I also plan on making this, like from this angle here, straight down, I wanna make a nice triangle, and then I'll fit that triangle wedge piece in here to create even more structure, and we should have quite a lot of rigidity holding this all together. I think right now we have maybe 3 fasteners holding this all in place, and it's pretty solid the way it is. So you can imagine with all those fasteners and the 5200, we're gonna have a really, really strong stern on this thing, and hopefully it should be good for what we have planned for it. And one of the other things we'll do too is Andrew came over and noticed that we'd made these little cuts in here. Apparently these are called limber holes. So the point of them is that water doesn't get trapped. So you can imagine if you have a sealed area here and water starts pooling up in this spot, it'll rot the wood. So we're just gonna make a little cut like this along here, next video, get rid of these and create just a little area for the water to bypass. But that's all in due time. I think we'll probably have maybe 1, maybe 2 more videos on the frames and all that, and then hopefully we can jump onto the bottom portion of it. I just want to say thank you guys for all the support that we've gotten up to this point. It's been amazing. We've only had this channel up and running, doing this for about 8 months now, and we're already at 1,012 subscribers. Really appreciate all you guys saying hi, stopping by and watching the video. In the future, we will be doing other restorations that are more of a high caliber restoration. So we'll be doing something along the lines of more of a concours level resto. So if that's the thing that you like, stay tuned for that. I can only really do 1 project at a time at the moment. But this boat's just been sort of an introduction for everyone to get an idea of what building these is like. And we're just trying to have fun with this build. But like I said, we will be doing more of a in-depth concours level resto. So stay tuned for that one. But again, thank you guys so much for all your support. And until next time, see ya.